I think we shall start now, if everything is fine with everyone. Meanwhile, before starting to the Q&A, to the presentation, in Zoom, we have a Q&A section. So you can put your questions into the Q&A section, and I will reply them by the end of the presentation. I will go through every one of them and answer the questions, and I will loudly read the questions first, and then I will answer them all to just all audience to have any idea about what the question was. And I will share my screen for a small presentation today. And thank you for joining us. My name is Ibrahim, and I'm working as Sales and Marketing Manager in DECE Software. And today, our webinar topic will be critical issues in data discovery and how we are trying to solve them. Let me for the presentation. I think my screen just needs to be there, I suppose, but if there is any issues, you may let us know, and I will be waiting your questions again. So thank you very much again for joining us today. The critical issues in data discovery. First, let's start with what is data discovery. So eventually, the data is just growing all around the companies and enterprises, their data repositories. So the idea is that there are many different documents, structured and unstructured data types are growing inside of these repositories, and they have some meta information, important information inside of them, and they're just growing every day and every night. So it's not an easy task to manage these kind of sensitive, critical, or important information. So it could be about complying with PCI DSS, so it could be credit card numbers that growing around your system, or it can be under other regulations, compliance system that you need to get rid of personal information like ID numbers, passport numbers, names, addresses, or any kind of other information that you would like to get rid of it. And the idea is that it's very important for modern businesses to discover their data and get insight about their data sources, get more to know about their data, and take some actions on it to comply with PCI DSS, other regulations, or fraud detection, or creating some alarms if there is any sensitive data is just growing around your data sources, and its variety of the data sources is very important. So it's not an easy task to discover and see what type of information you're holding in your data repositories. And we will show the problems and how our customers and our users are solving with them with GEODI to, as I said, create a data protection policy and strategy on the top of the results of the discovery of their data source. So we have many different customer variety from different sectors because they have a main and common problem on data security and data protection side. So GEODI helps them to manage these problems and manage their data. Every one of it is quite valuable, so I don't want to go get into every single one of it. But you may see some customers from banks, from NGOs, from commercial, from government, everyone. It's just like insurance. So there are many different customers that using our solution, and in reference in more than 10 different countries in the world now. So what are the critical issues these customers are trying to solve? So the importance is very important thing is the speed of this data discovery. So how much speed we need? We need to know our data. We need to get the result as quick as possible to see if there is any critical or sensitive data inside of our data ecosystem. So we need to know and we need to make it quick. So speed is very important. And volume, of course, it's another issue that creates a problem on it. So if the dealing with gigabytes now turning into terabytes, now it's just turning to petabytes. So the data is still growing in the customer's data sources, and it's quite high now. So volume is another critical issue to solve. Accuracy is very important. So ensuring data integrity is very important thing. So accuracy on the discovered, recognized information, and of course success rate is another critical issue you need to solve when we talk about a perfect discovery result. Data sources. Of course, the diversity of the data is just like it's just upsiding every time and every day now, because there are many different data sources. We will talk about it in more detail, but data sources are very, very important now. It's just varying a lot, and data streams every day and comes every day in from different sources. And adaptation, of course, it's an important thing, that it's a very huge problem to adapt with new needs of the customers in the future. So if they would like to see a different type of data, or if you would like to go to another data source to scan and see the results. So adaptation is a very important thing as well. Of course, interpretation is a very important thing. So presenting the discoveries effectively. So interpretation is showing what you have. And of course, reporting is another different issue to C-levels, to different departments. So you need to share the results of your data sources, of your insights about the data. You need to show what you have done with the discovery and what type of sensitive information you are holding aside. And sustainability, of course, continuous data growth management is a very important thing. So you need to be having a sustainable solution to just move on with your needs as an important thing. So speed, I will just go over one by one now, every critical issue, and try to explain how we are dealing with that with GEODI and how we are trying to show the reality. So this is mostly for showing you the identity of this critical issues and how we are solving it. It's an important presentation. That's why we need to first talk about the speed, as we have just firstly talked about it in our previous slide. So importance of a raw speed is very important. To scan, how you start the scanning and how fast you are. And it's a very huge challenge to process unstructured data, because it's not a data lake anymore. When we talk about the unstructured data, it's more like an data WAMP. It's just like all around the world, there are like MALs and many different document types around 20 years ago and created 25 years ago. And it's still there, and they're in data at rest, still there waiting for some actions to be done for them. And it's a variety of the data is very important. So it's very hard to challenge process unstructured data, and scaling, clustering this huge data sort and increase the speed is an important thing. So what we are just doing is general. The first thing first, so 1 terabyte a day, we are up to scan and consume with GEODI around 1 terabyte a day of the data sources. So we can scan more than 1 terabyte, of course, that's why it's plus, but it's possible to just remediate, the just medium of it is around 1 terabyte a day to finish up the data sources that you have. And you can cluster this with the structure of GEODI, with the architecture of GEODI. So it's a very important thing. So GEODI can scan more than 1 terabyte a day of the data sources of our solution users. So the speed, we have shown how we are dealing with that. We have some tests done for the speed. Now it's the volume. So of course, speed volume is just like Rift things. So you need to scan the volume to just come over with some speed. And the idea is that GEODI can do a concurrent discovery and with multiple servers. So it's possible to scale up your GEODI environment to increase the speed of scanning and also the consumption of the volume as well. So now, as we said, now the customers, before like 10, 25, 30 years ago, gigabytes were just huge. Terabytes now, still we're talking about terabytes, but some customers have petabyte of data in their data repositories. So it's important to find a solution to consume this data volume in general. So how we solve it is with concurrent discovery servers, multiple servers, and scaling this architecture of GEODI to just consume this volume very fast. And of course, to get the reports from single dashboard and etc. So it's possible to cluster, create a cluster structure of GEODI licensing, and it's possible to consume huge data volumes with this structure. So it's another thing. The third one we talked in the second slide is that accuracy. So how we are dealing with accuracy is a very important thing. And GEODI is a natural language processing-based solution, NLP-based solution. So accuracy is a very important thing to just having very low false positive and false negative issues after seeing the results. So don't bother with FP, like false positive markings. This is just a waste of time. Trust the findings. We are just calling that. So trust what you have got, get the reports and see the results. From also GEODI dashboards, you may take a look on it to see the accuracy and the results. And what we are going to talk about is masking and anonymization, the coming slides. It's also very important to high accuracy. It depends on the high accuracy of this functionalities like masking and anonymization. So this is another thing when you just talk about masking or taking action on the any kind of action on the data, so data types like PDFs, words, or unstructured or structured document types. So it's very important to trust the discovery results, and GEODI helps you out with that huge high capability of scanning with too many recognizers ready to use. It's in its store. And with the, of course, NLP-based functionalities to detect document types, similar documents, copy files, similar files, as I said, or detect document types like CVs, resumes, or health reports, or also eventually recognizing money amounts, whatever it's, or however it's just written in the documents. So it's an important thing. So data sources, variety of data sources. We talked about it in the second slide as in our structure. It's a very important thing because it's a huge challenge to integrate with that much of data source. It can be all data of your organization when we talk about and all the document types inside. So as we said, we can consume, we have more than 200 adapters in here, and we can consume all the data source of the organization. Scan documents can be OCR'd as well with the GEODI OCR, loyalty-free OCR functionality we are offering to the customers. Unstructured and structured data sources, it could be Linuxes, it could be MacOSes, we will come through this again, websites, Oracle databases, SharePoints, wherever the data is, or end user computers. It's an important thing because data resides there as well, and there could be huge sensitive data resides there. And streaming data, daily data just growing, so you can schedule up your scannings and see whether if there is any streaming data coming is critical or sensitive information inside. So GEODI trying to consume all the data sources a customer can have in their data repositories. So adaptation is another important thing, different discovery needs. So we have this, we talked about it in the accuracy, we have this out-of-box recognizers, fraud detection functionalities, custom rules and data sources with the need of the customer. We will come to this point again and again. It's an important thing with the low code and no code structure of GEODI. Customers and the users can add their own recognizer by themselves or dictionaries as well. So it's possible for them to create some custom rules or custom data sources as well with our open API documentation, with our open API services. So it's possible to create some customization with a very, very low, development needs. So the idea is that different discovery needs can come up in different countries, in different regulations, in different sectors. So GEODI can comply with them very easily in a matter of time. So different operating system is also an important thing to adapt to it. So when we talk about data sources, it's another sub-level of this data sources, different operating systems. And GEODI may work in discovery side with Windows, Linux, and macOS machines. It's possible to recognize and discover sensitive information out of this, these operating systems as well. So the presentation is the important thing. So we done these technological problems and we have gone through these all these steps, the critical issues, and we solved them all: speed, volume, adaptation, the accuracy, the data sources. We have done all of these. We solve problems, and with GEODI's high-tech functionalities, it's fine. But at the end of the day, results are the important thing. So how you're going to present to other departments or your managers or your decision makers. So you need brief and important info in a box. So you don't need to create a huge essay about your data, but you need a critical and summary of your scanning of your results on the discovery that you have done. So no one wants to check millions of lines of paper, as we talked. It's not an essay that we are going to read. The result of the presentation should provide some insights and numbers about your data, and GEODI can do that. And it could be customized as well with the reporting and dashboarding. It's again no code, just drag and drop panels you can create yourself and show it to your C-levels or show it to your other departments. And there could be other departments that needs to decide about taking actions on this data, like quarantine, whether if you would like to quarantine some unnecessary data you're holding inside your data repositories. Give an example, just to give you a very short example. So you just scanned all your share folder, and you can look for with the query and semantic discovery functionalities together. You can filter down for the documents that created before 2019 and contains more than $1 million of expression and contains tax number or IBAN number, whatever. So you can filter down this. You can search for this documents that contains matching with this rule that you have, query rule that you have, and then you can take actions. But who is going to decide to take action? As an information security or cybersecurity team, maybe you cannot, or as a data protection officer, you cannot have decision-making capability on the data that you have scanned. So you can share these panels and reports, or you can give some with the authorization and privilege. Of course, you can give some users to the other departments to check the results from the GEODI user interface and take actions, quarantine, distraction of deleting the data, taking documents from unnecessary and sensitive critical documents from hot place to cold place by quarantining, or anonymizing the data, or you can mask the data, or you can encrypt the data. So what is the difference between anonymizing and masking? Very shortly, masking is just putting some stars or putting email expression to the email that was found, while anonymization gives something more than that. So for a Visa card number, it puts a random different Visa card number rather than the real one. So it just maintains the reality of the structure of that information, but it's a fake one. So you have created a synthetic information. It has many use cases. We will have another webinar for this. Please join us on that to give you more idea on masking and anonymization, how it works. So presenting the results is an important thing, and you may need to take actions by showing the results in a good way to the third-party departments. Sustainability is very important. We talked about it. Discovery is not a one-time job because data grows every day. You need to comply with the changing needs of the customer. Of course, the users may have changing needs. Now I just take a look on the GDPR. Now I would like to take a look on the competition keywords or fraud information. I need to do it. Or there is a new law just passed by the energy sector. I need to comply with that as well. So GEODI helps you out with that. And while data grows, alarms is an important thing. So you can create some alarms with the incremental scanning of GEODI is crucial. So you don't need to go over the data sources every time and scan every time from the scratch. GEODI helps you out with that. So you don't need to go over and start from scratch. You can just schedule your scannings and say that I would like to scan every document that have come just now newly come or changed. So you don't need to go over the data sources again and again from the scratch. Just going to scan every time after the first scanning finished, the newly coming documents and the changed files. And you can create an alarm, of course, with the incremental scanning. So you can say that I would like to get an alarm if a document inside of Ibrahim's PC contains, for example, UK passport number or international bank account number and the money amount more than $2 million. I would like to take a notice if there is such things. Or in an email, if there is a competition keyword and the money amount, please let me know. So you can create some alarms to there. And when GEODI detects such document, it will send you an email to the DP or to you, whoever you are. So you can monitor your data with alarms all the time. Scheduled reports for growing data is a very important thing. You can get scheduled reports. And with low code and no code structure, you can need for the future needs. So you can add new recognizers, custom recognizers, or custom reports with the need of yours. So it sustains the change needs and it protects your investment, what you have buy as a license from GEODI. So Conclusion is, I would like to recap the key points that it's important to deal with the big data now and the customers. Now data is really big, even in small firms, and you need to deal with it in a speed way, in an accurate way, and in a sustainable. And of course, with the variety of the data, you need to change yourself easily. With GEODI structure and architecture, it's very easy to comply with the needs of change because it's just ready for it, and it's just ready and it's designed for the changing needs. So you can protect your investments, and in the future trends in data discovery, it's ready for it. It's already ready, and you can add the new ones as well. So the data discovery just going to have some trends in the future about the fraud detection, and new regulations will come up, and the new topics like data posture management is coming. So you need to manage your data posture, and you need to know what you have with the GRC regulations coming around the world. So it helps you out by just giving you a very, very solid solution to create a strategy, data protection strategy on the top of it, with the results of discovery. So these are the just key points I would like to recap in. So you have a huge data, you need to comply, you need to see what you have on it. So we have gone through this table that we have shown first. We may share the presentation afterwards to you also as well. So thank you very much for your time. Let's come to the Q&A session to answer the questions, which is very easy to start with. Okay, the first question, I will speak loud on the questions as well. Do agents create performance load on servers? The first question is about that. Do agents create performance load on servers? So firstly, I would like to clarify very fast that we have both agent and agentless scanning functionality. Agent is all just needed on PCs and Linux servers if the customer has, and it does not create any load performance on PCs and the Linux or macOS systems. So it does not create such performance load. It's almost around like in percentage, and in tests we have the approximate way of like 0 CPU while it's just working, and 40 or 50 megabytes of RAM at most while it's just working. And the other data sources, we have connectors. You don't need to put agents in. The second question, do you have live demo test environment to try it out and touch and feel the solution? That's a good question. Let me just come to there. Yes, you may do it. Let me show you. This is our website. We have this live project section in here. You may take a look on it afterwards. You can come in with the GDPR HIPAA discovery. You can take a look on this ready-to-use sample project, which were our topic today mostly. And the login section will welcome you. You can log in with either with Google or LinkedIn. So yes, you're free to try. You can touch and see the solution as well. What will be the pricing pattern for the tool? Let me just come to the, of course, let me just come to this side. And open up here this table, which is important, which were our main topic. So yeah, what will be the pricing pattern for the tool? The pattern is just based on modules and the number of users, of course. We have many modules. You may see on the, we have some main modules, but we have some sub modules as well. But it's based on module and the number of users. And of course, if we are talking about data discovery, it's important the sizing of the data. So we need to know approximate data size that we are going to deal with in the customer, with terabytes wise or petabytes or gigabyte wise. Like gigabyte is not valuable anymore, but terabytes or petabytes wise. So this is important. So modules, number of users, and data size. Are reports and panels customizable? Yes, definitely. Our reports and panels are all customizable with drag and drop, with the functionality of query directly working each other, because GEODI is a search engine at the same time, so you can search for anything. And as the same, you can use the search and query functionalities working between together with discovery on the panels and reports as well, with a very easy way. You may contact us in future to just have another personal demo if you would like to. We can show you the functionalities of the solution. Well, we have another two questions in the same question, so I will answer the first one. When scanning for sensitive data, is it searching for keywords, or can you define the context of the data being scanned? Example, if a document contains ID number, credit card number, and this is part of a financial document, in case, how will the classification will be done? That's a good question. I mean, while we are searching for a keyword, when we have searching, we have in two ways. So the first scanning, discovering the sensitive information like ID numbers, credit card numbers, it's possible to just extract this information from the documents and show it to you from the user interface. And then you can search for the document contains ID numbers and credit card numbers. And then you may say that if the document has ID number and the credit card information, credit card number inside, it's a financial document. So then you may classify this document as well by tagging it, or you can get the report that contains this information in your data lake. There are two ways. The first one is that getting the report of the data and see it as a classification in the side of user interface. And then also you can tag these files that it is a financial document, and you can change its metadata and put a classification level on it. So it's possible in both ways to just find out the documents containing ID and credit card numbers, or any kind of recognizer that we have scanned through. You may search for it. You can narrow it down. So data anonymization and masking happens for both structured and unstructured data. The second question. Yes, the structured and unstructured data, it works with that as well. So it happens for both of it. We will have another webinar, as I said, for masking and anonymization specifically. You may please join us in that one. It will be easier. And if you have any question marks on your mind with my answers, please type me down again. So we have another question. So we have data classification for databases also. Yes, you can classify. I mean, the idea that the question that came, you may say that I would like to see the records that contains ID numbers and credit card informations, and you may take the report of it as a classification. You may see which classification level is it just matching with. So you can classify it. The only problem is if you're talking about, we cannot tag databases as we tag the unstructured data. So we can get the classification levels on databases. We can see if it's matching with our rules or not by the results of discovery and query for this out of this discovery solution, but it's not possible to tag database. Our solution is available for both on-prem and cloud. It's just on-prem because when we talk about data discovery, sensitive data discovery, now we're just going to scan the ID numbers, credit card informations, or any kind of fraud keywords or competition keyword the customer would like to have. So there will be an index in the on-premise way. So it's important to have it. It's all on-prem to comply with the regulations, of course. So we are not offering a cloud solution on discovery side yet. As of now, how many file formats do we support? I mean, we have many of it. Let me show you very fast. Please support, please visit our support page while you're just, because it may take too much time to go over every single one of it. So to just let you know, please take a look on support.dcsoftware.com. It's public. You may come to here from our website as well, from support page. And then you may take a look on GEODI and see the data sources. Inside of data sources, there are supported formats as well. So you may take a look on it, which data sources that we have, which documents that we are supporting, that you may take a look on it. You may see it on here, the file formats, supported file formats in here as well. So please take a look. And I don't want to go too much detail on it, but we have more than 200 adapters, as I said. Let me just come back to our table again. Okay. Let me answer the other question. Can we discover zip codes and parcels? Yes, it's possible. Yes, it's definitely possible. We can discover zip codes and parcel numbers. GEODI has a patent on the geographical information system integration as well. We can go into this. We can show these information that have been discovered zip codes and parcel numbers inside of on the top of the GIS or the map as well. So you may see these files as well on the map. Can we discover from images? Yes, definitely. We have OCR functionality. I talked about it in the presentation. It's possible to discover from the images by the help of OCR. So another question is, our solution is agent-based. Yes, I tried to explain this one. We need some agents in some data sources like PCs, Linux machines, macOS machines, the endpoint solutions, and Linux servers. If there is need, the agent is needed. But the other data sources that we talked about, like SharePoint, like file servers, like cloud storages, like databases, websites, email servers, we don't need such thing. We just need to have a connector and user access. Who are the target audience customers in price-sensitive markets like India? That's a great question. So enterprises that has data and gives value to data and would like to protect their data or would like to get to know more about their data is a potential customer. So is actually, I cannot identify and just narrow down the target audience for India. I'm not a huge expert on it, but definitely India is a huge, huge market, and there are many firms that all just growing very fast. And while they're growing, they need to also comply with regulations. They need to get to know more about their data, get insights about their data. So it's an important thing for them, I suppose. The customer that has a good IT infrastructure, that has data repositories inside, that PCs with white-collar users that creating data every day, and emails every day, it's a potential customer. I can say you that. Because they need to comply with the regulations, and at the end of the day, they need to get to know their data better. If there's any leakage happens or any kind of unnecessary information goes out. How many agents will be used for discovery? It's an interesting question because it depends on the customer's need, how many PCs that they have, how many maybe Linux device, Linux servers that they have. So it depends on customer that how many agents we are going to implement to the endpoint. Nowadays, usually people are using VDI or have DECE, and DR in such cases, all their data is on the cloud. So we suppose the on-prem solution of DECE can access these data on the cloud, complete the data classification, right? Yes. Yes, that's yes. Many users using VDI, DECE, and DR solutions, and they have virtual machines in cloud or in some places, and they can implement GEODI to one of the systems like that. I mean, we are not offering a SaaS, but it's possible to use GEODI on cloud system in a cloud environment. They can implement the license to there that they have on cloud in a machine that they have on the cloud. So it's possible. And we can definitely discover the sensitive information out of it, and also, if it's needed, classify them as well. What recognizer can we develop for languages other than English? The idea is that GEODI is not only offering English, it has, I think, almost all type of languages in the world are supported from us now. So we are not only supporting English, we have recognizers all around the world. Let me just also show you maybe that part as well. Let me just come to their part. And we have many recognizers for different customers and different countries. So you may take a look on from our store, it's ready to use. And eventually you may recognize the languages as well, because we have a language detector. When we talk about discovery, we have many discovery functionalities for different countries and different regulations. So it's not only working on English, it has support for different languages, many different languages as well. I suppose this was enough. Can you share a report sample? Yes, definitely. I mean, I can share it via email to you directly. I'm taking note of your name. So we will, after the meeting, we will show you a report sample, and we will send you the report sample of it as excluded. But let me show you very fast one report sample to give you an idea. It's just something like that. We have on the dashboard, we have this reporting functionalities for the discovered information, and also it's possible to export this information from there. But I will definitely share you with the information needed. Can we have different recognizers for different departments? Yes, exactly. You may add as much as you would like to. But it depends on the need of you, of course, whether if it's going to be with regular expressions or with some dictionaries. So it's possible to do it with GEODIs, no-code, low-code, and adaptability, and adaptation and sustainability functionalities. It's all possible. What if we don't want to give access to everyone to see the data sources we have in our project? Yes, definitely. I mean, you can manage that authorization and privilege. Even you can give limited access to DPOs or information security team as well. And you can lock down the admin user. And so it depends on your need. You can definitely create authorizations and privilege policies with GEODI, and it's all LDAP integrated, Active Directory integrated. So when somebody logs in with Active Directory, a user of theirs, they're just going to see the documents that they can see from the share folder. So they're not going to see something more than that. It's possible to manage any kind of privilege and authorization with GEODI for the users. Can partners help to contribute to your language recognizers? Yes, exactly. This is what we are, just why we are working with partners. We didn't have the partner map in this presentation, but we have more than 80 partners in 25 different countries now. And DECE, our company, and our solution GEODI is all just coming through and working through its commercial functionalities with partners. So we are all based in partner. Our main customers and main volume is our partners. That's why we need them in the market to help us with the, maybe not language recognize, but the specific recognizers for different languages and different countries. And it's a huge contribution to us. And most of our partners already helping us through with this things. And we would be glad to have your help as well on that issue. Okay, there's another question. Questions are coming. That's good. Can you highlight 3 USP of DECE compared to competitors, which we can highlight during our discussions with our prospect customers? Today I learned speed, reporting, AI. Any other you can recommend? Of course, that's a good question. But I just give some insights about it while in the presentation. It depends on who we're competing with, definitely. If it's a discovery solution, if it's a data classification solution, it varies with that. Because no other solution just offers that kind of circle that we have. Probably you saw it in different videos and stuff. We have this search capability, discovery capability, classification, masking, anonymization, all together. And no other any solution that gives that much of variety of solution in a single platform. And eventually with functionality and technological wise, our semantic discovery is a very important functionality that we can not only based on regular expressions, while we can recognize the addresses, the money amounts, the document types like CVs or health reports or others, and similar files or copies. So it's based on natural language processing. So we can recognize these kind of things that our competitors cannot. So the AI that you have mentioned is a key factor as well. And of course, the adaptation, easy to use user interfaces, and sustainability of it is a very important game changer as well. So speed reporting and AI functionalities differs a lot, as you said it, but the others are quite same. You have said it, for variety of volume to just consume. And as I said, the variety of solutions that we are offering, like enterprise search, masking, classification, discovery on a single platform to protect their investment in a single platform and manage all these things in a single platform. Is discovery helping with GDPR and SAMA? Definitely. We have GDPR recognized and SAMA recognized as well, because SAMA and GDPR are saying that you have to delete unnecessary personal information you're holding in your data repository. SAMA is just saying that you need to classify them, or you need to get rid of them, to delete them, or just quarantine them in somehow. And you need to age the data but you need to know your data to first to decide to age it or not, or classify it or not, whether if it's contains any sensitive information. So it definitely helps with GDPR and SAMA to comply with, because they are both regulations saying that you shouldn't held unnecessary personal identifier information about your customers, about your personals, about your partners. You need to delete them or quarantine them somehow. They're saying that. So somehow is discovery. This is how you deal with that. Yes, thank you. I just reading. Thanks for the highly appreciated note. It has been given greater confidence on DECE. Thank you. It's a great pleasure to talk with you again. Thank you very much. Which are the DLP solutions can be integrated? We have integration with many DLPs on classification side. By the actions, of course, we didn't talk about it too much. In today's the topic was discovery. By the actions, by the results of discovery, you can classify the data as well. You can tag it with automatic classification functionalities based on the semantic discovery. So give an example, I said more than $1 million expression inside and an IBAN number, you can classify it as internal, and you can classify the also data at rest. At the end of the day, it will be classified and it will work with all DLPs. We have customers using Symantec, Forcepoint, Digital Guardian, Trend Micro, Safetica, many others. So we have many customers that using with different DLPs. So it's all integrated with different DLPs. In India, we have now DPDPA implemented strongly by the government, and hence DECE can highlight that in your website if we are supporting that. Yes, my teammates are in the meeting, so we can definitely put you to our like website or our presentation to mention about DPDPA, because as you saw it, we have the India package as well in our discovery site. So you may take a look on it as well. So the idea is that we have also this Indian recognizers. So it's fine to just comply with DPDPA, and we can add the new ones as well if it contains a missing one, the missing sensitive information that we need to recognize and take action on. We can definitely put it on, and we need to put our website as well or to our presentation. Thank you. Thank you for the heads up. I think, yeah, thanks are coming now. Thank you for the great information. Thank you for the questions. I mean, it took more than the presentation, the question side. So thank you very much. It's very appreciated. We will share the record of this presentation with you, and hopefully we will be in touch. If you would like to know more about the solution, please contact us directly to have another session. And thank you for joining today's webinar. It was a pleasure to meet with every single one to join us in this meeting. Thank you very much, and see you on the next webinar, or see you in the next presentation that you would like to have with us one by one. Thank you.